What have I been doing the last 6 months? I've been dancing. I have very limited experience in that regard. Only did some performance as a kid, with some practice, and those were only one-off performances. So dancing is very new to me. The very last time was 12 years ago in J1 orientation week as an icebreaker game. Uh, Beyond that, I'm a complete beginner to this endeavor. I have this friend who has been salsa dancing for about half a decade or so. He was part of his uni team, he did a lot of socials. He's now part of a performing team, and having danced salsa for a long time, he decided to try out another dance form, bachata. And since I had previously indicated interest to potentially try out dancing, he asked me to join the classes. I said yes because at worst it's going to be funny, I'm going to be bad at it, and since my humor leans along the lines of self-deprecation, I thought this would be interesting to try out. And so I started dancing. We first attended bachata classes at On Motion Dance Studio, which is run by Gary Fu. He's the director of that school and has been teaching bachata, salsa, and also offer mambo classes. But the initial few months, we were taught by different instructors first. They created a safe and welcoming environment where people of different ages, dance backgrounds could come in, make mistakes and not be judged, receive constructive feedback, and improve as a better bachata dancer over the time. My initial preconception of dancing was limited to it being a very artistic, very abstract way in which you display emotions with bodily movements. So it was very difficult for me to wrap my head around it because I'm a very left-brain, analytical, technical sort of person. So that kind of kept me wondering if dancing is really the thing for me. And I was about to find out how wrong I was. There is a lead, typically a male, who dances together with a follow, typically a female. To give you a window into the mind of a lead, there's a lot of things to take note. First and foremost, the lead needs to give very clear signals, which can be easily understood by a performer. Secondly, certain bachata moves require you to set up for them appropriately. That way, the follower is able to seamlessly transition into those moves without any confusion, and the dance would look more proper, look nicer, so to speak. The third thing is to do with musicality. So that comes down to the music's tempo, how fast or slow the vocals are, the beats are, and the dance movement needs to be in congruence with those varying aspects of the music. In the early days of dancing, I came up with this metaphor. Bachata dancing is a lot like learning a new language. The instructors typically in the class, they will teach you the moves, they will break it down in an easily understandable format. Then you would try it with repetition, you will rotate to different partners. And this is very similar to learning the alphabets of a particular language. Soon, with a couple of lessons, you'll be able to sort of spell simple words with those alphabets and dance grammar, if you will. At the end of each lesson, the instructors would review what was taught, and they would also perform a social dance for one song where they showcase what was taught could be applied in what manner and what they are going to teach in the coming few weeks. This demonstration itself is very much similar to them not writing simple sentences or paragraphs. It's more like they're writing essays. So that's how proficient they are. And with every lesson, they move the goalposts just a little enough such that it keeps it engaging for the students to continue to learn slightly out of their comfort zone such that they're learning and improving more and more. As the classes progressed, I realized that I needed to practice on my own time as well. To that end, I created a chat group with fellow interested classmates who wanted to meet up to improve. So we booked this pole dance studio. I don't know what to say. First time. Excellent. So we see who's available on which day. We book external studio spaces. We will come in to learn and practice. And for the last 20 minutes or so, just put on the songs and try social dancing. This was quite helpful. The second part of the equation is social dancing, where dancers of different mastery level would come together to dance. This is often arranged by different dance schools, social events, festivals, or even Latin bars. The one arranged by On Motion is called Bachata Overdose Friday. It's initially quite nerve-wracking to go out and ask a stranger to invite them to dance. You also want to dance without messing up, so that's like another pressure point to deal with. But over time, with more repetition, this anxiety, activation energy drops and you get better. The whole cycle of meeting new people, improving together, there's a sense of bonding and camaraderie. It was great. In month 2 onwards, we were learning a little more nuanced dance movements, and it was getting a little bit overwhelming, so I decided to do some note-taking. I created a Notion database, I input the movesets, break it down beat by beat, embedded a video of each move as well, where I can. And it helped me deal with the same dance knowledge with different other parts of my brain, which helped with absorbing it at a deeper level. I also started creating playlists of bachata moves that seem neat and practical for me at the proficiency level that I was at. There was also a collection of Instagram posts or reels of similar such moves. I would review these just before social nights such that I have some new moves to try out. I found myself improving and it was fun. Soon I progressed to Gary's level 3 classes. These had further subsections of Bachata Moderna, Urban and Sensual, each of which is stylistically different. And they were of a higher learning curve. The class size was also bigger. But it was that much more interesting because we were learning the breakdowns of the more cooler and flashy moves. Albeit, there's always a re-emphasis of the basics by Gary again. He would say that it often differentiates a trained dancer from a beginner. I noticed my priorities change along this journey. What used to be an idea became something that I tried, which later became an invested hobby. It has now become something that I want to get good at. Am I there yet? No. Am I getting there? I think so. What's next? To get a taste of dancing on a performance team. More on that in the future vlogs. So that's my dance journey so far. I hope my story inspired you to pick up something that you may not have gotten around to it yet. With that, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.